Okay. And now the filter needs to be filtering out polluted water. Let me just make sure that that is the case. Yes. This is exceptionally optimistic, by the way, because it's quite easy for the stuff that gets in here not to be water at all. We've got all kinds of things in this pool, but hopefully it'll help. The drips have transferred their innate derpiness to Aavak through derpimosis. I mean, you might not be wrong there. Wow, that's actually starting to get full. Kind of impressed, really. These ones we're actually maintaining with phosphorite, but we will be moving most of them away. In fact, to that end, we are moving them now. Let's get these out of the way. Don't want them there. Getting this one out of the way. Most of this is not having to do anything. These are actually keeping this place sufficiently cool that the heating system is barely doing any work. It's slowly warming up, but very, very slowly. Sorry, the cooling system. Next layer. Yeah, it's going to be out of power for a little while, unfortunately. Now then, how are things going down here? Well, not too bad, actually. We still got a bit of work to do, but well, we don't need to dig that. We can quite happily just dig through all of this. Cancel these. And just dig them. That's where we need to get to. I'm gonna let them continue making that that branch down. I'm going to drop this in priority significantly, though, so that they focus on that one instead. Oh, bless them. I mean, they'll probably get quite a lot of food down there because I've got so many rocks just sat there waiting for them to eat. That one's going to need to be uprooted as well. We've got quite a lot of Weezeworts available to us at the moment. I may set this one up as a swoop destination and just clean all of this area out in a moment. We'll see. I'll let you go through there and hopefully we can build this out first. But now that we've got that, we can start considering how we're going to fill this in. That, actually, let's cancel the building of that. There's no particular reason to at this point. This is going to be the main floor of the actual generators themselves. We'll probably enter on this side. Up here, we only need this to be 3 tall. I could make it more fancy looking with drywall, especially because that will... it doesn't really act like a temp shift plate. I could make a nice pattern out of temp shift plates and drywall, actually, thinking about it. And then the same down here. We're going to want to equalize the temperature as much as we can. Use the liquid runoff, the water return from the steam engines to cool this area before it returns back down to filter out and to return back into the steam chamber. Should work okay. The shovel seemed to be doing okay. The long half is very bad at carrying, though. Why? You shouldn't be that bad at carrying. Oh, it's because it can only... the capacity in the conveyor loader is such that he couldn't pick up more than that in one go. Oh well. How's water going? Right, it's starting to move into the second tank now, which is a good sign. It's where we need it to be. Is this completely run out of power? Yes, it has. The sad thing here is we've got coal, but the auto super can't pick it up. Let's go ahead and gather some of this oil from around here that we can then deliver to our petroleum generators. It's not something I want to do because, you know, manually feeding the petroleum generators is super inefficient, but one needs must, I guess. Over coal there. Don't need any of those. For 200 degrees steam, maximum power 5 inlets, it seems it will take around 31 wild wheezworts per turbine. Unlikely it's going to need that many because the steam turbines themselves are going to be returning. I mean, that would be if you were trying to just completely cool them only with wheezworts. In which case, yes, you'd need quite a lot. But we only need them to be below 100 degrees. That's all we need. So we will be running the runoff from the steam turbines, which will be coming out at 95 degrees, up, grabbing some of the chill, exchanging heat with the area the wheezworts are maintaining, and then piping it back through. I mean, if that isn't enough, I can always add an aqua tuner into the mix. It is possible, but I imagine it should be okay. If it's not, though, again, I'll just shut down the system. You actually caught the stream. Yay! Hello, mate. Thank you very much for the prime sub, Lon Andrea. Sorry, Londrandir. I should say it. I should be a little bit more careful when I'm saying people's names. There we go. Good morning, Mr. Beastor. Actually said it correctly. Oh, thank you very much. I should stop doubting myself then, I guess. There we go. Now let's up the priority of stripping these rooms down. And we should be good. Actually, again, since I'm just going to be stripping it completely clean. There we go. Yeah, my day's going quite well. Thank you very much for asking. Virtual Anarchy, how about yours? Now, down here in this steam room, we've got an aqua tuner specifically cooling the generators, and it isn't cooling them, you know, very far. It doesn't need to. It just needs to be below 100 degrees. But I need power and smelting to happen to generate heat from these aqua tuners to actually melt the steam, though. Boil the water we've got down there and generate more steam so that there's enough gas pressure in here that it kicks in. Now, that being said, Let's have a look. Send a green signal. Yeah, that should be off. Oh, we're waiting for it to be over 50 degrees for this one to kick in. It's going to take quite some time. I mean, I could get them to start doing some work now, which may be worth it, I guess. If it's over 140, sure. Let's flick the switch. Let them kick in for a little bit. They'll give us a tiny bit of power. Maybe enough for them to be inclined to do some smelting, which would generate a bit more power, especially if they actually make some steel. That would be very, very much appreciated. No, it's not quite enough power, unfortunately. But getting all of them tuned. Problem is that isn't going to last very long. This is why I prefer there to be a bit of a bigger temperature difference between where they start and where they end, so that we get a good use out of the tune-up. But if we can get a batch of steel going, then that would be grand. But it really does come down to how much we can pull out. On the plus side, it is kicking in the aqua tuners down here a little bit. And it doesn't actually matter too much if these aqua tuners haven't got enough power to turn on, because as long as they go back through the system, then, you know, the heat is going to continue to accrue in the insulated pipes, and eventually it'll dump it out as it's moving down. 150 is not particularly great, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. Oh, there we go. We've got some steel going. There we are. Some real heat being delivered. Mind you, it's going to take some time for that to actually start getting up top, but it's good enough for now. I am very glad to see the kilns operating, though. Very glad to see that. Just make sure I'm not going to be deleting something important. There we go. So what are the refineries made of? Everything in here is made of steel. Everything that has an overheat temperature is made of steel. There isn't a temperature that steam room is going to operate at that would damage any of the things inside it. Time to finish cleaning up down here. There we go. Right. 3 will probably be enough, so we can start placing this down. I don't need to make this crazy insulated or anything like that. Igneous rock would be more than enough. I think the pip needs to see... Does the pip need to have 3 or 4 tiles clearance to be willing to plant? You know what, let's just give it more than it needs. Err on the side of caution. And we won't go astray. Because then I can make a granite cladding in the inside, which will help a little bit more with temperature transference. Yeah, well done. Let's get you a new skill. Hop. And super duper hard digging areas for you. Excellent. Double checking on this again. Only less than 5 cycles before natural gas starts kicking in again. That will probably top everything back up a bit. Did I see a little bit of water? No, I did not. Very sad. But we have gotten to the point now where the next load from this... Well, there's two more full loads of water sterilization to go. And then it's going to start backing up and feeding into the oil wells. Oh, my lord. I've caused myself so much extra work by not noticing that. You're wondering why I make them 3 tiles apart? It's just so that I can strip them down from the top down really easily. But I think probably time for us to start drawing this out again. That being said, though, let's find out what you are if we can. And also, get rid of all this, if we can. Actually, these are dupes. They will probably be massive derps and get trapped if I start deleting that willy-nilly. So I'll just allow it to sit for now. What decayed? Bristleberry. Yeah, that's not the worst thing. That's fine. Actually, that's more than fine. Let's go for the pipes. Strip those back completely. Follow that by uprooting them all. Is there a quick way that I can do that? Yes, there probably is. I can probably just do this, can't I? There we go. Perfect. Let's get rid of all of those. There we go. Finally getting to the point now where we're going to start seeing the water be delivered to the oil wells. Just as natural gas comes back on. But I am very, very pleased to note that despite having virtually no power for the last 20 cycles, our dupes never got scolded. They never suffered. The inclusion of the fail-safe hamster wheel in here really helped. If nothing else, I feel like I've learned a better way of designing these systems from this. Hey Akasa, how you doing? You're not ready mentally for work, but here we are. I'm doing well, sweetheart. Oh, hello. An Aavak stream. Just what I was hoping to find when I opened Twitch. Well, I'm very glad to be able to meet your expectations. There we go. We need caffeine. Oh. Okay. Well, everything's going okay in there. And otherwise, I think we're ready to start. Well, I mean, they're building this up, I suppose. I am... Well, probably shouldn't be giving them 8 on that. Let them get to the 8 when they feel good and ready to. We can, however, start planting the weeseworts if I want to. I'm down with that. Now, if I were to set up a dispensers already in a decent place for it. We'll get all of that set up. Probably sweep this out of the way. Bring over a pip and just allow it to start planting them. Oh, no power. They are loving being able to play in their poop. Please stop. This is why I insult you. Robomine is failing me. Scallywag. Oof. Okay, you're having to power that up. There's a bunch of ways that we'll be able to very easily adjust the steam turbine cooling without having to install an aqua tuner in the steam room itself. So I really would like to see getting away from that if we can. Probably the simplest one is the hydrogen that I'm going to put in the room. I could just take the bleed off hydrogen from my spawn and just allow, you know, just deliver very small packets of hydrogen in there and allow it to be vented on one side. It'll just collect the heat and take it with it as it goes. The other one is to simply have the water pipe travel out here, probably up near here with some tungsten, and then come back in. Simply so that it dumps its heat into the oxygen here, which is constantly bleeding out by design to get rid of the heat that's building up in here. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, it worked for a moment. There we go. Well done. Let's have a look at this. Why has this stopped it? Oh, we used up too much of the steam. That's a bit of a shame. But it makes sense. We need more steam before they'll allow the steam turbines to engage again. How are we doing? Okay, we're all the way down to the coal at this point. Well, first and foremost, let's just dig a proper shaft all the way down. Same on this side, at least where there's coal. There we go. And then start expanding outwards. There's no point in grabbing the iron, not yet. It's the coal that we need right now. How hot is this water? Water's almost at the point of boiling. It shouldn't take us too long to get that going. Every single bloody time. I'm going to allow that to accrue this time. I do not care. In fact, I'm going to dig away the only way that they have to get up there. In before, this means that someone gets stuck. But I'm going to try. The odds. I swear the game must prioritize hitting some places when it's like, oh, you've got unprotected stairs. Well. How have I been? I'm doing pretty well, thank you very much for asking. How about you? Okay. I'm just going to allow those buildings to be broken. I just need to remember that it's 7. And if it's more than 7, then something else is broken and I need to check. Otherwise, we should be good. My lord. Let's get all of this mess out of here, please. I am going to prioritize this on a 9 because this is where you live. It needs to be clean and tidy. Also, it's getting so hot in here. Oh my god. Yes. But we now have water going down the right way. Thankfully. Finally, we are producing oil, which means we are also producing petroleum, which means we are producing power. Happy days. At long last. That might actually even be some of the first amounts that we've seen. Going down here. Yeah, this is literally some of the first water that we've seen down here because of the massive gaps. So finally the oil wells are producing again. And then we run out of power. Oh my lord. Okay, well, let's get some coal. It'll prioritize delivering it to the power plants that run these 2 areas, and so that will get everything going again in fairly short order. How are we doing for food? You're doing very good for food. All the machines in this game look very Dr. Seuss. Yes, absolutely. Yep, Crisbit, the steam engines themselves will stop at 100 degrees. There we go. I mean, that one's still got power. How? Where's it getting its power from? Oh, from much higher up in the chain. Fair enough. There we go. Perfect. Let's get some more of that going, please. How much do we have in the pipes? Not enough, but there's a little bit of petroleum on its way. I'll start the generators for a bit. I do need to get these ones set up, though. Right, this one needs to be... Did I actually make that out of steel? Unnecessary. Yeah, very unnecessary. We only needed something that would be able to handle like 100. Yeah, because we would never want this room to be hotter than 100 degrees, so the container only has to be able to handle liquid up to that temperature. Oh, Londrander, thank you very much for the gift sub there. That was really kind of you. New printables available. Ooh, I accept. Yeah, I can make it out of whatever I have in here that can handle up to just, yeah, I'd say 125. We could make it out of gold amalgam if we wanted to. Should be fine. There we go. We should now be seeing that this liquid is coming out a little tiny bit cooler. It's not amazingly cool yet, but it should eventually equalize a bit better. It's going to take some time for it to start pulling the temperatures down properly, but because it's got a very high temperature to start working with. It's coming in at 58 degrees. Oof. That's not nice. Once we've got some solid power going through, though, it's going to be pulling it down by about near enough 30 degrees, actually. I think each one can pull it down by 14 degrees each. Yeah, 14 degrees, so near enough. 28 degrees down.